be surviving 100 days of Ark Survival Evolved. And if you notice here, this is the trailer for Ark Valguero. So I will be playing it on Ark Valguero, and I will also be playing it on Primitive Plus. My plan for this series is it'll be a 4-part series. Every day will be 25 days, or every video will be 25 days. So this video is part 1, and it'll consist of day 1 through 25. And I think this is going to be a really good video. Honestly, I haven't played on Primitive Plus very much. I've played, I think, 1 playthrough on Primitive Plus. That's it, and that was Scorched Earth. Day 1. So, I get in, and I begin my survival in the Redwoods. I chose the Redwoods because I do have experience, and I wanted a little bit more difficulty. And, honestly, I thought it would be really hard. But it turns out the Redwoods is not quite as hard as I thought it would be. Honestly, I never spawn in the Redwoods because that's one of those maps that is just horrible. Or one of those places that I like the Redwoods a lot. I really like the look of it and everything. I just don't like it low level. So first thing, I do everything that you would normally do. You get in, sell that really cool deer. And I go over here, get some bushes, you know, harvest up, get my fiber. Obviously, I gotta find some stone. And I get a pickaxe. Now that pickaxe will help me get flint, and that flint will help me get an axe. So normally I level up fortitude first, but I'm not sure what I did there. Get some clothes and a club, because why not? You need a club. I need the help. That'll help me survive a lot. So the first engrams I got a foundation, mortal and pestle. I was looking at these Primitive Plus things. A pitchfork is a Primitive Plus item, and that's really interesting. So I'm definitely going to get that. And this stone wooden fence, I wanted to put around my base, but I thought it would be too hard, so I'm going to get the wooden fence too. And I'm basically going to build that around my base, as you see here. So I'm building around, I mean, yeah, this is where I'm going to put my base. It's going to look pretty good. I like these wooden fences. I wish this was in normal Ark. These are, I don't know, I really like them. They definitely should be in normal Ark. Just basic wooden fences. I don't know about the stone ones, but the wooden ones are nice. So I killed some compies, and then day 2 happens. So I spent all night harvesting and getting wood for my base. I got my foundation, and I built a 2x2 base, simple wooden, you know, like you would on normal Ark. Nothing special. And so obviously, I'm just doing the finishing touches now, day 2, but I got most of the base done day 1. And so, finishing up the ceilings. And this should protect me for early game. Looks good. So, here I'm going to get hide because I need a bed. And so, honestly, I was surprised. I didn't die in the Redwoods at all. And you may notice something. I don't have any sound in the first 5 days. That is because I forgot to record it. I'm so sorry about that, but once day 5 ends, you will have sound and the game audio. So I'm looking around. I could hardly find hide. I was super surprised because normally the Redwoods are packed. You know, they're like a swamp. There's dangerous things everywhere. I did find this moose, and instead of bowling it, I wasn't thinking, so I just decided let's just throw a spear at it or a pitchfork at it. It didn't go too well. As you can see here, I ended up just chasing him around like crazy. But I really did need hide, and I was just desperate any way I could get hide. So I'm like, oh man, I made a mistake, but let's just try and bowl him, because why not? And I do it, and I miss. I was like, at this point, I felt like I'm like, you know, I'm done. I give up with him. He's a pain in the butt. So I heard a sound. I wasn't sure what it was, and you know, there's no game audio, but it was a Pegomass coming to attack me. And so I'm gonna kill him because he took all my meat, and I needed his hide anyway. So I'm like, well, Pegomass, that's a good source of hide. Let's go kill you. And right before I get my hide, bad luck happens. And this is where I experience what I'm normally used to in the Redwoods. Carnos everywhere, dangerous animals everywhere. And so I spawn in. I'm thinking about how I can get my body back, but I spawn in instantly. Troodons, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the Redwoods I'm used to. This is the dangerous area I'm used to. So there it is, Troodon, I died. And so At this point, I really want to tame him. So I get a mortal and pestle, and I get working to get some trank arrows, because I want to get that Carno. I want to get him back. So I really wanted to tame him. I didn't want to kill him, but I did want to tame him. So I get some berries. I spent the rest of the day trying to get berries. That's all I did for that day, really. I mean, I was motivated. I was ready to get this guy. And so I even found the rock that I was going to shoot down from and tame him. So I'm here, almost done with getting enough trank arrows. It starts to get nighttime, and I get attacked by a different Carno. And at this point, I'm like, ugh. So then I die a bunch of times trying to figure it out. And then day 3, I spend most of day 3 trying to get the Carno to follow me so I can bait him over here and get him away from my base. So I finally got him to where he's following me like this. He's following me, and my plan is I'm going to bait him near a stego, a trike, any sort of big herbivore that can kill him. And one thing is, it's really nice to be right next to this safe zone, because if I really need some hide or anything safely, I can go over here and kill a parasaur or kill a philioma. So that did help. So I baited him over here, and they fight, just like you would think. And at first, it looked like the stego was going to lose, and that really worried me. But as time went on, it ended up the stego did kill him right there. Boom, last final swipe. The stego's very bloody, so I was like, whew, that was a close call. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going to salvage some of this. I salvaged all the stuff I needed. And since I didn't have any hide to make a bed, because, you know, that mission failed, I'm like, well, here, I got all the hide I need right here. So at that point, I was really happy. It's like, the first 3 days, going good. Wow, 118 hide. Anything else? I end up getting these pants, because I had nothing, you know, I lost everything, and the Carno, I couldn't get my body back. So, I get ready to tame him. I'm up on the rock that I thought I was going to tame him from. And I see him, but he's way back there. If you see him there. And I was really disappointed. So, I wait there on the rock trying to figure out what to do. And a terror bird aggroes to me. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, this is okay. I might as well tame him, right? So, I end up knocking him out. Everything's going good. Just normal Ark taming here. He runs away. And I didn't have any creatures at this point. I really made a mistake. I should have got a parasaur or something that would have helped me get the trank arrows, but I harvested all the narco berries by hand. You know, everybody has regrets, right? So that took a long time to get everything. And so he's just swimming around in circles. Obviously, I'm not going to knock him out in the water. So I'm just waiting for him to come back so I can bowl him. I really like those colors, though. He's a really pretty terror bird. I've noticed a lot of, it's really near 4th of July time. Actually, the day I'm recording it, it's July 3rd. And so a lot of the dino colors, I don't know if it has anything to do with it, are red and blue and white. You'll see later in this video, I get a red, white, and blue beaver. It was just like 4th of July. Something like that. I think that's why. Or just randomly colorful dinos, you know. So, I do this, and then I make a big mistake. I decide, let's go tame something else. So I go to tame a Pteranodon while I'm waiting. Bad luck happens again. Carno attacks him. So I lost the Pteranodon. And by the time I get back to the terror bird, you know, he had woken up and he's running all over the place. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just do something else. So, I get the forge, which I had been delaying for like 4 days now. And then the smithy. Figure I'm gonna get myself a hatchet. And the pick. And then I'm like, this took a while, so I'm gonna go tame a parasaur. So here it is. I knock out a parasaur. And this parasaur helped me a ton. He does die, but he helped me a ton. So it helped me tame this Pteranodon right here. So I ended up knocking out this Pteranodon, used my narcotic, which I had plenty of, and then I tamed a Pteranodon. So day 6, I spent all that day getting a Pteranodon saddle. So once I had enough chitin to get the Trinon saddle. There it is. Day 7, I didn't do anything, except I tamed 2 Trinons because I wanted to tame a wyvern, and I was going to use those guys to distract the wyverns and get them away from the nest. So I just got the wyvern egg, and I'm running away with my Trinon. I had 3 Trinons in the beginning of this, but I lost 1 Trinon when I was trying to bait him away. But I did do it safely. I got a wyvern egg. I didn't care about that other Trinon. It took me 2 seconds to tame. Day 9. So, day 9, I raise up the egg, and obviously I have my stats a bit faster, so I don't have to wait forever to, raise a wyvern egg, but it goes good. He ends up hatching in just a second now, or she, it's actually a female wyvern, and so this is what it looks like. A beautiful wyvern I got on day 9. At this point, I'm like, this is the fastest I've ever got a wyvern, by far. Except on like PvE servers where you can just ask for a wyvern. So I got a wyvern. I'm like, might as well get my first artifact because you gotta get it. So I got an artifact. I don't remember what the name of that artifact is, but it's the easiest artifact in Valguero. I knew exactly where it was. Super easy. And I'm gonna be attempting to beat the Valguero boss at the end of this. So that's why I'm really rushing towards boss and artifact cave elements. So this is what I'm doing here is I tried to tame a dire bear, and so I almost tamed a level 40 dire bear, and he took all my trank arrows. So day 10, I try again. I get this other dire bear that I'm chasing around, and I'm happy I finally got this guy pretty good. So if this rock wasn't here, I do not think I would have knocked him out. I mean, this rock was a lifesaver. I'm like, holy crap, I got an extra 4 hits in because of the rock. And so then he runs away. Obviously, he's way faster than me. I did get some ghillie armor, so it's a little different on Primitive Plus. You get ghillie by making leather, so I had to get some salt. And you put salt in this, like, it's a leather thing. And anyway, it makes leather. And it took like, I don't know, it was like something like 25 leather to make the armor. All of it. So, super easy. I get the bear saddle. So I ended up, that's what I was doing there, is I went to the beaver dam area and got the saddle. So here's my dire bear. I might name it later, but I'm not sure right now. Wow. It's a big bear. Honestly, I love dire bears. They're one of my favorite tames. I use them for caves all the time. So day 11, I ended up making this like crafting bench up in a nice safe mountain. And it was up top, and it was really safe. So I built this crafting bench. The majority of that stuff is all Primitive Plus stuff. And I decided to tame this Gigantopithecus. You know, as Ark is, you tame a Gigantopithecus. I'm going good. I wasn't thinking, so I dropped him off up here. This is a safe zone. And I didn't want him to die. So I see this, what do you call it, a ground sloth? Anyway, normally they aggro when you get too close to them, so I decided to kill him. And I accidentally killed my Gigantopithecus that I tamed 2 minutes ago. So, that sucked. Day 12, I needed an Anki to get my medal. So I knocked out the Anki. And while I was waiting, I decided might as well hit a few trikes off the cliff. So I do this right there. Look at that. That Spino was gonna get him. And so I'm going for my second artifact. This is this ice cave. I looked it up on a Nooblets video, and so it looked like a pretty easy cave that I could just walk into, but I wasn't 100% sure because he flew through it on a Tyrannon, so I took my bear just in case. I take my bear, go all the way through the cave system, super easy, nothing to fight, and I get there, and there is nothing. There's no artifact. So I've had this happen before, so you gotta kind of go out of the cave, wait a while. And so day 13, I go back in the cave because I just waited there, and I go back in on foot to kind of give the artifact time to load. And sure enough, when I get there, well, first let's get all the way through the cave system. But when I get there, there is an artifact, the purple artifact. And so, at that point, I was happy. Really happy. I was like, finally. I didn't want that to... I've had times where I've had to wait a lot longer to get it to respawn, so... That was easy. Got myself an artifact. And I had 2. I think it was 2 in, like, the first 11 days. So, very good. So, I was trying to get, not iron, but steel. In order to make steel, you gotta refine the carbon with the metal, and you get steel. And I couldn't get the carbon in the smithy. And there's a few other glitches with my system and Primitive Plus. So I don't know what's up with that. I get myself some metal armor. Because, why not, right? And I was about to attempt a little bit harder cave, so I was preparing for that. I also wanted a longbow. And it's a Primitive Plus item, it's a longbow. Anyway, it needed beeswax to get the longbow. And so what I end up doing is, I take my wyvern, I look forever trying to find beeswax. And when I finally find a beehive, yeah, the day doesn't go too well. So I thought that I would just be able to kill the bees and the beehive wouldn't despawn and I would get it later. And so it didn't do anything there. I do end up biting it though. And what I end up doing is breaking the beehive, and it really makes me disappointed. And so I didn't get anything the first try. And I'm getting tore up by these bees. So I just like, I gotta fly away. So I fly away, and I come back, and there's no beehive, and so I didn't get the beeswax I wanted. I think you get beeswax from beehives. I mean, it's a Primitive Plus item. I don't even know if beeswax not on Primitive Plus. I think it's just a Primitive Plus though. Not exactly sure why a bow would need beeswax, but it does. Maybe like the bowstrings? Maybe the bowstrings would. Anyway, the hive wasn't there, so I ended up looking for a new beehive. So I brought my bear, because they help a lot with beehives if you don't know that. The dire bears take a lot less damage to bees. And so I ended up finding this one by a tree. And so if you ever need bees, it's kind of along this coastline, across from the, I don't know, the hilly area. So there's bees all along this coast. So I get my bear, and I hit it, but what I thought I would do is I thought the bear would harvest the honey. Instead, it didn't harvest the honey, it didn't harvest the beeswax. And I remember like how I used to do it, you would have to go up to the beehive and press it. But by then it was the end of the day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I already spent the whole day trying to get beeswax, and it failed, so I just flew home. I mean, sucky day, but that's okay. That always happens on Ark. Let's go. So to make myself feel better, like I accomplished something for the day, I tried to get this loot drop. And I don't know if it's just my single player or something, but these loot drops suck. All the loot drops I've got from this map are really bad. I mean, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Day 15. So day 15, I get myself a sword, because my metal had just finished refining. And I already had the sword skin, so I really wanted to check that out. Scorched skin. I'm not sure why that ice cave didn't have a skin with it. The artifact, it didn't have a skin with it, so that was kind of confusing. I look around. You need more lighting to really see the sword. So I end up getting to my light. I got this really big campfire. So I light up the fire, and then you get to really see the sword. It's looking good. Wow. That is a nice sword. I like it. I'm gonna probably paint it soon. What I wanted to do is paint my armor this whole time, but I really kind of got distracted. with other things. I'm really trying to get the caves done. But I do paint my armor. Looks amazing. Me and my bear. Look at that. I think I did a good job on the armor. It's blue and black. I got a nice looking bear. I even painted the sword. It's black with a blue crystal. You can't really see it, but there's a blue crystal in the center of that sword. So, if you see... Okay, so I go here. What am I doing here? What was I doing here? Oh yeah, so I needed a formal base. Oh, I get a shield. Okay. I was like, what was I doing? So I'm getting a shield. I ended up painting that right away, because honestly, I know a lot of people don't use shields, but I'm one of those people that really use shields. I pump a lot of points in the weight anyway, so carrying a shield that with a little extra weight doesn't really bother me. Like, I know my brother personally, when he plays Ark, he just doesn't use a shield at all. I just like to look at them. I mean, I know they help a lot if you're on PvP and stuff. I just like to look at them. Looks really cool. Look at that. It's turned out really good. It's gonna match perfectly. I wish I could get those center bolts to change color to black, but they're silver and there's no region to fix it. See, look. I'm like, look at that. They're still silver. It kind of stands out, but that's okay. I can deal with that. Let's test out how I look. At this point, I felt ready for the next cave. Got my sword there. There you can see the blue crystal in my sword a little bit better. I am ready for a cave run. I like that bear a lot. He's a good bear. Okay, so I wanted a shotgun or any sort of gun for the weapons, and so if you go in my engrams, there's two types of gun. It's like a basic pistol and a musket. And so I'm going down here. Show you this real quick. What there is okay, it's a flintlock pistol. So the flintlock pistol, it says you unlock it in the smithy. And same thing with the musket. It says you build it in the smithy. There's another glitch I've had with the Permanent Plus. Things aren't showing up in the smithy that should show up in the smithy. And so I go into the smithy. There's nothing there. Just nothing there. So it's gonna make those caves harder. I don't think the cave I'm going to next is very hard. Day 16. I get to the cave. So it's yep, I get to this cave. It's an artifact cave. I felt a little unprepared. It looked like it was gonna be an easy cave, but because I didn't have any guns or anything, I was really kind of stressed about this cave. I didn't want to die. That's the one thing I did not want to do. And I actually did lower my bear's health a little bit. If you see here, he's at half health. That was super disappointing. I wasn't thinking when I did my wyvern breath and lowered my bear's health. So I'm in the cave, in the lava area, and I thought I might be able to take my bear farther, but I can't. So, good thing I brought grappling hooks, right? I was just happy there was no dangerous animals. I would think there'd be like onyx or maybe spiders or something in here, but there's nothing. Just perfectly clear cave. No dinosaurs. No dangerous creatures. End up hitting there right on that like stalagmite rock. Oh, so there's a drop up here, and this is what I was talking about with how the drops are. The drops are not good. So when I get up, this is a cave drop. It should be at least decent, right? So I get here, get to the drop. Let's see what I get. Yeah. I get a ramshackle cloth shirt. So, it's a little disappointing, but I wasn't gonna waste my grapples going to any other drops, so I'm just find a good spot. I went there. I did know what to expect though, because I did watch that New Blitz video on all the Valguero artifacts. It's actually a really good video. Helped me a lot. And so get up here, and I thought I would just be able to shoot it to the back of the wall here, but it breaks, so I ended up shooting it to that rock, hoping I can go to that. I get up here, and I'm finally made it to the next artifact. When I get in the artifact, there it is. I got a skin this time, so I was happy to get. Now I have 2 skins from the artifacts. I'm also playing on Xbox. Oh yeah, another thing was weird. My water went all the way down, and I don't remember being that low on water. So I don't know. That was just weird. Okay, so I realized this. I was really worried because I only had one, or I thought I only had 2 grapples left, and I did not want to waste them. So I think I'm gonna make this jump. I'll make my run for it, and luckily I made it, because that could have been a death sentence for me. Now that I'm looking back at that, that was a bad decision. I mean, I could have easily messed up that jump, and you know, I have to restart everything. I have 2 crossbows in my inventory, a sword. I have like everything I have is on me. Go back to the cave, and I go home. So, day 17, I realized I really needed a official base. And so, up on that mountain, there's one tree that I can't break, and so I wanted to put a tree house on it. But I needed the tree platform, so I tamed myself a beaver to get all the wood I'm gonna need. And one thing is, he's at 100%, so I didn't know this until just now, but, the beavers, or any Ark Dino, they go to 100% and they tame at 101%. So I didn't know that. I would have thought it would tame at 100, but, you know, my beaver's at 100%. So there he is. And so next thing I needed was a Dodicarus on day 18. So day 18, I spend day 18. That's what I did the whole day, is get a Dodicarus. And I also got some resources to continue building. I got 30 stone foundations. I'm basing my design of my treehouse somewhat off of an Aaron Longstaff video. It's how to make a treehouse, basically. And I based my foundation off of that for my building, because I didn't know how to line up your foundations to work circular with the shape of the treehouse. So I ended up doing that. I got the foundations placed. I got my brother on split screen because it was taking forever. I mean, a long time. So I got my brother on split screen. It really sped things up. We were able to go double the speed. And looking good. Day 20. Day 20. I build the second row of foundation, so I build more out. And it's got like those stairs now. I ended up placing those stairs. That's going to be the front of the base, is where these stairs are. Day 21. We did a lot of work. Day 21, we put all the walls. We put the inner walls up, I guess. So we spent day 21. We got the inner walls up. Looks really good. And my brother's gonna log off real quick so we can see it in big screen. So if he leaves game, there we go. Big screen. And right now, this is based off of the Aaron Longstaff video. And then after day 22, we realized this is a lot of stuff to build. So we end up kind of going off of his video somewhat, but we really kind of go our own ways because the way he was doing it was really expensive. And with me only having 4 days left to complete this, there's no way I could have done it. So I ended up getting the outer walls somewhat complete. The bottom row of stone. I built this up a little bit. Looks pretty good. Day 24, so skip a couple days. This is what we got. We have the treehouse ceiling. And day 25, this is the ending, the last day. All I did for the last day is I placed the the dinosaur gateway at the end. That is actually a lumber dinosaur gateway, so those are also all primitive plus items, because I wanted to utilize primitive plus items in my build. Only thing is there's no primitive plus triangle stuff, so that kind of sucked. Otherwise, I'll be using a lot more primitive plus. Now I will take you to the above ground view. So we're about to see what the top of the base looks like. Just give a quick look with the terrain on here. You see, that's the front there, and here's the top. So if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe and share this video all around. I'm shooting for a 1,000 view target, so share this video with everybody you know and get the word out there. Thank you. I like that.